pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of minutes. Does anyone,
Madam Chair, I move that the commission vote to approve the minutes of January 6th, January 27th, 2025.
Second.
okay. Any questions, comments, edits? All right, great job. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There you go, sir. Yeah. Public participation, there isn't any.
Well,
Um,
book right there.
There you go. Brendan, do you want to start with your report? And we'll wait for,
Yes, that'd be great.
okay.
All right, just to start, our maintenance team has begun the process of repairing or repainting picnic tables and trash cans in our parks. It's that seasonal thing that we do each year in preparation. Hopefully it helps change the weather and get us a little warmer, but no. So they started working on those. They'll be out picking them up in parks. They bring a few in at a time, let them dry out, start working on them, paint them, put them right back. So that goes on for a few weeks. Also getting our equipment ready to go, making sure everything is all set before the start of the cutting and trimming season. And then we'll also be working on, we still have some cleaning out up at Overlook Park of our old, one of our old maintenance areas up there. We call it Mike's Shop after Mike Kelly, carpenter shop up at the old garage. There's a bunch of stuff in there that in the next couple weeks they will be getting out. And then obviously the recent weather, we've been getting a couple little snow events a week, so they've been out plowing, keeping the roads clear in Burlington, and then move on to parking lots and getting those all ready. We recently met with our consultant with Tom Irwin to lay out our plan for the spring and summer athletic field work. So this work includes fertilizing, overseeding, and we're going to do some top dressing this year, and we'll also do aerating as well. But with the approval at town meeting last year of the athletic field improvement warrant article, we've been able to add all of the athletic fields into our plan and anticipate seeing some better results as we head into the fall. We didn't have the funding to do all of the fields, and we were spending a lot out of the revolving account to do those, to pick up fields wherever we can, but not consistently. The fields that aren't irrigated, obviously if we're in a drought, we won't be putting product on them just because we're relying on Mother Nature to water it in, and if there's no rain in the forecast for weeks at a time, then it's really a I don't want to say a waste of money, but a waste of money. It's throwing our money away, hoping that Mother Nature's going to give us some rain. But we are set, worked on that plan for the spring and summer. It'll take us through the end of the fiscal year. So we're excited about that. Also, the annual report is due at the end of this week, and we've been working on that. And the annual report highlights some of the projects, programs, and events that we undertook over last year. And so we had another busy year in 2024, providing innovative programs and working to upgrade our facilities throughout town. The department continued to experience growth and work hard to meet the needs of the Burlington residents. We welcomed new full-time staff. We said goodbye to long-serving part-time staff. We experienced professional growth and had including two staff members who became certified playground safety inspectors. Two of our biggest accomplishments in the department were being asked to speak at the State House for Advocacy Day, and then receiving the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant in the amount of $1 million. So we had a pretty good year last year, and we'll build on that as we head into 2025. And I'm sure we'll have a good positive report again next year. So that's all I have right now for, until we get to new business.
Quick question, Madam Chair. Brennan, we've talked about this before, but can you refresh my memory? What fields do we have that need to be irrigated? That don't
So-
have the irrigation systems?
Yep. Veterans and Regan both have water at them, so they would be probably the easiest to add irrigation to. They have, I believe, a 2-inch pipe leading to the shutoff box we have, or the snap valves we have, so adding irrigation, those two. We have Center School, out behind Center School. That field is not irrigated, and Miter is not irrigated, as well as TRW. I don't believe we can put irrigation in based on the agreement for the use of the Mary Cummings property, because it would require some kind of structure to house the backflow. So that is a possibility down the road. And Lower Rahanis, the softball field, has a main going across it to the dog park, because one of the requirements with the dog park was that we had to have potable water there. And so we do have a line there as well that goes right across the outfield. So we could, make some improvements to those 3 Little League softball fields and get irrigation to them, fairly inexpensively, I'm hoping.
Are there any plans to use some of that $200,000 warrant article towards that?
We, yes, down the road, and potentially next year, getting one of those fields, at least some irrigation on it. We want to focus on some of the more visual items, new backstops, improved playing surfaces on some of those softball fields, Little League fields as well. And then we'll look at that list, and I believe we have to add our outdoor facility master plan, those items in there as well, and try to figure out how that all fits.
I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to support another warrant article next year if we can accelerate the irrigation of the
Okay.
fields, because we're spending a lot of money. And I know what you're saying, if you don't get the water, then the chemicals break down, and they don't do what they're supposed to do. So
Right.
maybe we think about a warrant article next year to do a couple of fields. And
Yeah, or
irrigate them.
increase the athletic
200,
field
yeah.
article. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we have that, that structure in place already.
Correct. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'm good.
Can I just ask, the Tom Irwin, fertilizing and seeding, is that only the athletic fields that are not on school property that have that fertilizing program?
Nope,
or
we do fertilize and seed those. School properties, so basically, Memorial School and Francis Wyman just do not get any, they're organic products only. They do not get any herbicides that would take care of broadleaf. So it's a conversation that I keep open with Bob Kuna at the schools about the possibility of, I think we would have some success if we were able to treat, one season, potentially 2, in chasing out the broadleaf and the weeds and things that are growing there. In the summer, that's what thrives on hot weather, and even, if it's irrigated, the hot days, you're not running the irrigation in the middle of the day. Those weeds will find the empty spots. That's why we've been trying to overseed more there, to compete with the weeds.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question, is,
Yes.
is that conversation still ongoing, especially with the money being spent at Francis Wyman right now?
Yep.
Be nice to make sure that it does stay in really good condition.
Yes.
Because it does look really, well, obviously it's covered in snow, but went out there, actually this morning, and, definitely a lot of progress going on. So
Yeah,
it'd be
they're
really
still,
cool to-
there's definitely still making progress, dugouts are up. I know they were working on backstop stuff as well. So all of those things continue to go, even though the field's under a nice blanket of snow.
Great, thank you.
One quick comment, Madam Chair?
Yeah.
I think we should put some pressure on Jeremy to allow us to put some herbicide on the schools.
You will hear no
Playing
disagreement from me.
All right, great. Assistant Director, Kelly.
Thank you. It's the time of year where we start hiring some of our seasonal and part-time staff. So we've opened applications for summer positions across the department in both programming and maintenance and TR divisions. We've begun promoting these positions through our social media platforms, and we do have some applicants so far, so we're excited to see the applications start rolling in, and our goal is to be fully staffed before May 1st. So hopefully we're able to get that accomplished once again this year. We've had quite a professional development start for 2025. In the last 6 weeks, we've had staff attend a number of trainings for all kinds of department initiatives where we're looking at exploring autonomous mowers. We worked with the Conservation Department to talk about stormwater management and maintaining the rain gardens here in town. Our office staff attended Vermont Systems trainings on scheduled events maintenance and other platforms within our RecTrack software, which is our registration software. Building meaningful connections with youth was a training that our program team attended. They looked at how they could connect, how they could better facilitate our staff connecting with youth in the summer. And we held a Stop the Bleed training for our full team in-house in cooperation with the Board of Health. So we have been doing a number of things, and we still have a lot on our plates for the rest of this quarter. And we're excited to see some of those. We'll be hosting a welding class for 3 of our maintenance staff. And we'll also be hosting chainsaw skills and safety courses up at Overlook Park, which we're also really excited about that 2-day training in cooperation with Bay State Roads. So we are excited for the professional development we see our staff taking, and hope that they're able to improve working environments and/or the community with those trainings. In our program division, our teams are working on finalizing the spring program offerings, and we're hopeful that the spring brochure will be released at the end of February, with a registration starting the first week or so of March. And we look forward to see what they have to offer this spring. Adaptive ski lessons were held through our therapeutic recreation division. Once again this season, we had a participant take adaptive ski lessons at Wachusett in a sit ski. It's actually really cool to experience the child going down in the sit ski. It's an amazing opportunity for her, and she adores it. Looks forward to it every week, so that's amazing. Also, Emma has been working on the TR software, which we are hoping is going to streamline communication between our staff, but also between participants, family members, and our therapeutic rec division. So she's been working on the customizing the software since June, and we are excited to say that we've started to roll it out to families, and they've started to fill out the intake forms and the tips and tricks kind of forms. And we are, so far, so good. We've got some really great feedback from families on ease of use and filling out information. So we're excited. Our staff is going to get a look at it in the next couple of weeks. And we are really excited about how that's going so far. And finally, special events. As we start to progress through winter and into spring. We had the special summon soiree on Friday night. It was really well attended. Everyone had a great time. There was lots of food, lots of dancing, lots of fun. It's always such a great event. We're thankful for the Hilton in Woburn for hosting us once again this year. Our next special event will be held on March 22nd. And it will be a princess party at Grandview Farm. We'll have a number of princesses joining us here in Burlington, and they will give a live presentation, a live show, and then kids will get to go have meet and greets with the princesses in their own themed kind of rooms and do activities with them. It looks like it's going to be amazing, and we're excited to be able to offer that for the first time.
That's great. Comments, questions?
Cupcake situation at the princess party. I feel like I'm gonna go there, and I kind of want to know about that.
You want to know what type of cupcakes?
Oh yeah.
Princess party? We'll have to check and let you know.
I know this is probably the wrong thing to say, but is there any bad cupcake?
There is not.
All right,
That's
just
fair.
wanted to confirm.
That's fair.
All right, anything else for Kelly?
No, good.
All right. I have nothing new to report. Does anyone have anything from subcommittees?
Just a quick plug for Marshall Simons Field. The letter of intent went in. We've had initial meetings with conservation. We've had initial meetings, initial communications with the planning board, so that's all moving along. We hope to go out to bid by the first week of March, secure that, and then keep rolling with the project. So things are moving along. We have a few things to work through with conservation and planning for sure. But as of right now, no major roadblocks that we know of, but, those can crop up anytime, but things seem to be going smoothly and getting a lot of support from different committees and boards in the town, helping us navigate all that, so appreciate it.
Excellent. Question, Madam Chair? Jeremy, initially, they were talking about a completion date, I think in August. Is that still on target?
August, September, yeah, so it should coincide with the beginning of school, is
Great.
what we're tracking. Yep.
Fantastic.
Anything else?
It's good.
Okay.
Pumped. Fields.
New business?
Sure. So we had, I heard today from a couple of the people who were supposed to attend tonight. They were not able to for different reasons. So I think we're going to have to push the recognition off until we can regroup at a later meeting. So we can probably move on to policy review.
Okay.
Which one would you like to start with? I'm sorry.
Whichever one you would like.
Okay. Well, we could start with the financial assistance policy.
Okay.
So we've been working on a new process for our financial assistance program, and we've developed a way internally to code a household as receiving financial assistance so that they can register at home like everybody else, instead of having to come into our office and fill out additional paperwork and wait in line in person. So we are excited for that. And because of that, there's just a couple slight changes to the financial aid policy. In number 6, we have changed it to an application annually for approval. So the plan is to have families do this once a year as opposed to every season. So we will approve it for a year annually, starting in January, with spring registration starting in March. We feel like that gives us a good 6-week lead time for us to be able to remind people that they have to resubmit their application. And as I said, they would be coded in, the households will be coded internally, so it should be a quick on and off once the application has been approved. And then we also struck a small processing will be charged in number 10. And those are the changes for that policy.
Okay, yes.
Comments, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Kelly, I didn't have a chance to shoot you an email before
Yeah.
tonight, but
No worries.
I mean, I like the policy. I brought this up probably a year ago. And I don't know how the commission feels about it, but I think if you're the parent of twins or triplets, you should automatically qualify for financial assistance, at least 50%, without having to ask for the financial waiver or the financial review. Because anybody that has twins or triplets, they've got financial issues. We all know how expensive it is to raise one child, let alone 2 or 3 at the same time. So I would like to see something that addresses parents of twins or triplets would automatically get some financial assistance. Maybe it would be a 50% scholarship or something along those lines. That's just my thought.
I have no problem with that, but does that create a can of worms as far as, you're giving, there's people that might have 2 kids that are only a year age apart, and then, well, they're getting something, I'm all for financial assistance. I just don't want it to be a hassle for these guys. If there's just some, how many twins, and is that a big?
I wouldn't want to venture a guess
I don't know.
there.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Just in my son's friend group, there are at least 4 or 5 sets of twins in his friend group. So I think it opens a can of worms. I think it should be based on financial need and not the number of children. Yes, I'm sure all of us would love I don't want to say a volume discount, but if I'm going to have 2 children in the same program, then I would love some type of discount, just like we do for everything else. I'm sure Jeremy feels the same way. But I think it should be based on financial need versus a twin or triplet thing, because there are a lot of families here who do have multiples who are not in some type of financial need. I think it really needs to be based on a financial need, because there are families with just a single child who are in more of a need than families with twins or triplets or.
Look, my kids are older, so you guys know the system as far as how it's going now, and then obviously on their side, they know who usually asks for assistance. I would, and then to Steve's point, it's expensive to raise kids these days. There's no doubt about it, but that's for everybody. So, probably keep it the way it is, and then, do you have any other,
Well, I just put it out there for discussion purposes, because I think some people, they're afraid to ask for financial help.
yeah.
They're a little embarrassed by it. They got 2 kids or 3 kids, and
Well, I know we've
the
been
diapers
really
and
good
strollers
with it
and
going
everything else,
forward through
and-
the Simon's Trust, which is the big supporter of it, which is awesome, so I don't think we've ever said,
Yeah, so just a couple things. We do, no one is turned away. It is a confidential process. No one is turned away. The greater need, that you show proof of, obviously, your percentage is based on that. Simon's Trust for programs that are done at Simon's Park, yes, but we fund this out of our revolving account as well. So our revolving account, I don't have the number in front of me. Last year, was it 25,000 in scholarships. So, and that has gone up considerably over the years. And obviously, it's a reflection of the economy as well, when things are tough in the economy. But I understand the hesitation to ask, right? But it is a confidential process. And once it's coded in the household, if they need to come back, if they plan on other programs throughout the year, it's in there and would be automatic for them, so. But just some brief history, background on the scholarships.
and the processing fee isn't the new one on 10 isn't a big fee.
We actually
That's more.
have
for the-
never charged that.
Right.
So we're just going to strike it from the policy, because it's not something we do.
Seems prudent if you're asking for financial aid, not to charge a
Yeah.
fee to apply for it.
Yeah, so, I'm fine with the.
Okay.
the
I just wanted to put it out there for
No,
conversation.
I agree with you, but like, to Lindsay's point,
I think logistically, it opens a lot of challenges, and then it puts the staff in a bit of a pickle, because now you're not necessarily looking at it from a needs-based perspective. It's, you know, if there's a greater need, but someone has a number of children, now you're gonna pit two groups of people against each other that, quite frankly, now you're gonna have to go back and make it a little bit more of a contentious process in some aspects.
Okay. All right, so I think what we were doing is we were just putting things up for discussion, and we would vote on it next time, just in case is some public participation or someone has comments.
Yep, we are required to have 2 readings.
Okay, all right.
The next one is our Corey policy, the criminal offender record information request. So this policy drives how we screen all of our volunteers and employees. The only changes to this document is that we are the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department, not Recreation Department anymore. So the corrections reflect that.
Any questions about that one?
No.
Quick comment, I think, I think the policy is excellent. I looked it over and I compliment the drafting job that you did.
Thank you.
And Kelly, this has already been established, right?
This
It's
is,
just a
this is
changing-
just an update. Both of those are just updates.
Just updates?
Yep.
Okay.
This child abuse prevention policy is a new policy for our department. It was recommended by the town of Burlington's insurance provider that we establish a policy as reflected here. We went through a few different communities and what they had, and we received a recommendation from the insurance company as well. And what you see is a reflection of that in front of you today.
Anyone have any questions or comments about it so far?
So no major comments. I think the only thing I was kind of interested in, you know, leveraging Steve's experiences, you know, does that kind of pass the sniff test for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people are mandatory reporters anyway. I think that if they see any signs of suspected child abuse, they would be mandated to report it. This is more, I guess we could do training on this with some of our employees, just to give them a heads up on what our expectations are. So-
Yep, and there is a provision for training within the policy itself that people would receive, that our staff would receive it annually. Thank you. Within the first 30 days of them working.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
we're working on developing a more comprehensive training program for our year-round staff. I think we do a great job in the summer training our summer teams. We do need to do some work on the year-round where we have fitness instructors, or Dungeons and Dragons is sticking out for me because we just got an email that was canceled. So like those kinds of programs, how we train them is something that we're going to look at as a team moving forward.
And one other comment, Madam Chair, I think kind of protects the department from liability issues. If, God forbid, there ever was an incident, you know, we've trained our people how to recognize what they should be recognizing, and if something does happen, that's why I think insurance companies probably want this policy. Protects them, it protects us.
Right.
Okay.
Madam Chair, so if one of our employees sees neglect, child abuse, who's the first one who do they call? Is it the police department they go right to?
No.
I don't know how
So depending on where they fall, right? So they would go to their director, their direct supervisor, and
Okay.
report that. Their director would go to our our administrative team, and then the administrative team would come to us.
Okay, because I just want to make sure that's followed, because that's how it all happens. I don't know if it's like someone sees something,
And I assume that's like a confidential, protected reporting chain,
Yes.
protected, treated as a protected communication. Cool.
that's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, and it's outlined in the policy as well, who they speak with. right, under reporting.
Management reporting, right?
That's, I was, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, employee reporting, yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else there?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, all right, that's all new business. That was fast. Any old business?
Real
Sorry.
question.
Yes, sir.
I remember doing these before when we came up with new policies. Kevin used to make us read them all the way through. Do we have to do that, or we just, people can go to the website and see it?
Well, we tried to get them to you guys ahead of time so you can,
No,
you
we've
could go
read it.
through
I'm
them. Okay.
talking about the public.
I
So if they had any questions,
forget.
Steve, do you know, when you guys came up with new policies for school committee, if it was,
I think they're on the
We did-
website.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. They
Yeah,
used
we
to be,
did
yeah.
2 readings and then published a new policy as a policy manual when it was complete, because
Yeah.
over the last year and a half, we went through almost every policy the school committee had and redid them. So when it became a complete document, that's when it was published out, and kind of a notice went out to public that
it
the
was just
new
a
policy
question.
was
I didn't
available.
want us to get, you know.
Appreciate it.
So then do we need to read these or read them next time, or?
No,
I think we're all right. I
Yeah.
know that certain ones, when we've come up with signs and stuff like that, we
right.
had the whole things out when we come
Yeah.
up with new policies.
Some of
We
these
just
are
changed.
lengthy
Yeah.
in
I was
reading
just-
them.
I was just on the, not so much that we, the Corey one or the financing is more, this is being a new policy.
Yep. We can make sure they're available too on our
On our website. Yeah.
website. And, you know, if you guys come up with anything or get feedback, someone's, you know, read it and didn't give us feedback but went to you, you know, obviously, we'll have to make a decision on that at the next meeting, then it will require another meeting to have that sit and,
I think it would be a good idea if we could post them,
yep,
because we're not reading them out loud, they're too lengthy.
yeah,
So it'd be a good idea to post them, and then our next meeting, if anybody has any questions, and the public has any questions, they can ask. We'll get in
Yeah.
touch with one of us.
Especially, I mean, this is 5 pages, so I'm assuming.
I know,
Published with the meeting minutes, we should be good. I think I believe that's how we did it with school committee, is as we rolled through and approved individual policies, we published it with the minutes, and then that became the record of notification, if you will.
okay.
that's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. So there is need for an executive session,
Yes,
so I'm assuming I need to read.
yep, and we need a roll call vote.
All right, so we will be having an executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may be detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body, and the chair so declares pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A. The Recreation Commission will be adjourning directly from the executive session and not be convening in open session. Do I need a first, like a?
I'll make a
roll-
motion to go into executive session, Madam Chair.
Okay,
Second.
all right, all those in favor? Aye.
Oh,
You
well,
gotta
you
call
gotta
us
do a
out.
roll call, you gotta
Oh,
call
I
us
do a
out.
roll call, all right, sorry. Commissioner Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner Nelson?
Aye.
Commissioner Norton?
Aye.
All right,
The chair votes aye, right?
chair votes aye.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll executive session.
All right, thank you.
Roll across all.